Let me ask you, do you have a Jesus Plus life? Jesus Plus what, I wonder? Hi, I'm Gina. Here at Hope and Cope, I truly pour my heart into these videos to help people live their best life in spite of painful and sometimes even tragic situations. So my topic for today is get in the flow. And so for the past couple of weeks, I've been talking about my journey from trying to save my life, metaphorically, to get my marriage back, my normal life, the things that I loved so much, to learning how to give everything up, to let it go, to let go of the things that I held so dear. And if this is helpful to you, I'd really appreciate if you click the like button and subscribe to this channel and think about sharing this video with a friend. I will tell you, I had built such a darling little life. My life was beautiful. I know I've talked about my husband's handicap and his chronic pain and the surgeries, but we had a beautiful little home and a beautiful little life, and it was full of Jesus. I mean, we went to church on Sunday, we went to church on Wednesday, we lived our Christian life. We had Christian music in the home all the time, and Christian friends and Bible studies in the home, and it was a beautiful life full of Jesus. But it wasn't Jesus's life full of me. Jesus didn't want to be the frame of my house or the decorations in my house. He wanted to be my everything, with or without a house. And I want to share a Bible verse with you that's going to go along with that today. Mark 8:34 says, this is Jesus. It says, he summoned the crowd with his disciples and said to them, whoever wishes to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. Be assured, I'm not trying to scare anyone. Only Jesus knows in each person's life what needs to be purged. I certainly don't. And lots of people have the beautiful Christian life from start to finish, and they don't have this big interruption in the middle like I have had. Other people have it worse. It's different for everybody, and it's because, well, I guess there's two becauses. One is God may have a different path for somebody, and the other because we live in a fallen world. There is a sin nature, and there is an enemy of our lives, and that enemy is out to destroy. And so our path took a tragic turn, not because God was trying to hurt us or because God was trying to take away my life or even because we were doing anything wrong, but sometimes tragedy does come into people's lives, and we're still asked to take up our cross and follow Christ. I assure you that Jesus did not give my husband an addiction. Jesus didn't take my husband from me. Life took care of that all by itself. I don't blame God. But what I was going to do with my newfound situation was between me and Jesus. So I had a dilemma. What was I going to do with this newfound situation between me and Jesus? He had given me this revelation, laying down my life, that if I would give up my life, I would gain it. But if I sought to keep my life, I would lose it. So when all things were stripped away, and they weren't all stripped away. I still had my children, I still had my health, I still had my family, I still had my faith, I still had a lot of things, but that firm foundation of my marriage was stripped away. And when that was stripped away, what Jesus was saying sweetly and gently to my heart is, am I enough? I've been so good to you your whole life. You've been so blessed, and I am still with you. I am still as close as the air you breathe. Am I enough? And I wanted to adjust my thinking, and I wanted my desires to be so truly just set on Jesus, that he was honestly enough, that he was all I needed. That for one, I didn't want to lose more of the things I was clinging to, because I'm clinging, grasping, that more things that I love would just fall through my hands. I wanted to learn this lesson and learn it humbly and learn it quickly, that Jesus was enough and that I could trust him with everything, and that I didn't have to hold closely, I didn't have to hold tightly to these things, that I wanted it to be so that whether things that I love were in my life or out of my life, that I had the firm foundation of my love relationship with Jesus and that he was all I needed. In John 7, verse 37, it says, "On the last day of the feast, the great day, Jesus stood up and cried out, 'If anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as the scripture has said, out of his heart will flow rivers of living water.'" So think about it. Here it says in this verse that Jesus cried out. Think about what that looks like. Jesus called people to himself with passion. He went to this festival and he just cried out in the midst of this festival for people to come to him, to come and drink. Jesus said in verse 37, "If anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink." Thirst symbolizes a deep spiritual longing, a thirst for Jesus, a desire for meaning, for truth, for life that cannot be satisfied by a worldly thing, not even by just a material thing or a fleshly thing or even a natural thing. Jesus' call to come to me and drink is a call to trust in Jesus as the source of our spiritual life. And so that is what I tried to do. That is what I endeavored to do, was to let him be what satisfied my soul and not all these other things. So I don't judge Jesus by my status or my happiness, my comfort or my possessions. I judge and I am convinced of his marvelous love for me from his words from the Bible, like from the passage that I read today, and by the sacrifice he made on the cross to pay for my sins and to make a way for me to be with him in eternity. So I thank you for your time. For more encouragement, please check out the description box. If this video was helpful, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and share this with a friend. Look for new content every Sunday. And until next time, I love you. I'm praying for you. God bless.